welcome to a new vlog and welcome to a little bit of a themed vlog today. I'm going to be sharing with you how I am having a little bit of a glow up for summer. I got back from the south of France yesterday, was on a lovely work trip, and it really made me realise I need to kickstart my summer glow up routine. So that's what I thought we would chat about today. I wasn't intending on starting the vlog with my heelers curls in, but we've actually got a power cut at the house today, so I couldn't do anything else to style my hair. So let's hope that these work their magic. But yeah, as I said, I was in the south of France for a work trip and we did have a little bit of free time, a little bit of time by the pool, a little bit of time relaxing and exploring the local towns, and it just made me think summer is here. For me, I said this in the last video, for me the summer months are June, July and August, and then in September I'm ready to embrace the cozy season. So we need to start thinking about it right now. I don't do anything too drastic. As you guys will know if you've watched my videos for a long time, I cannot do anything like a diet or anything like that. That's just not in my personality. It's not something that I want to do. I feel like being restrictive is just, yeah, not on my bingo card. So I'm all about bringing in the good stuff, and sometimes by proxy that just means that the bad stuff is minimized. So it's all about, yeah, focusing on nice things, which I think is a good way to frame it. So the ways that I'm going to be glowing up for summer, you can kind of split into mind, body, and let's be honest, wardrobe. So I'm gonna cover all of those topics today and tomorrow. So let's get started, I guess, with mind. And this is gonna, like, some of my tips are gonna be very precise, very actionable, very like you can do this every single day. And then some of my tips are going to be a little bit more holistic, I guess you could say, but these are all things that will hopefully I'm going to be putting into place to help me, this sounds cheesy, but glow from within and radiate glowiness over the summer. So mind, when it comes to the mind, I think that, is it that Roald Dahl saying where if you say horrible things about other people, they will, what is the quote? I'll put it on the screen here. But I do truly believe if you think positive thoughts and you do positive things, then it radiates out of you. Kind people are not ugly people. And that may be just the way that you perceive people, but I do truly think that if you are able, and it's so much easier said than done, but if you're able to reframe your mindset to think more positively about things, always look on the bright side of life, Hakuna Matata, but just having a more positive outlook and genuinely thinking positively about other people, about situations, then that makes you happier, which makes you glow. And it is hard to put that into practice. So something that I find, I kind of do this accidentally, but you can very specifically do it, is practicing gratitude. Now, I would say for me it happens, I think I've just kind of trained my brain this way for it to happen quite naturally without even thinking about it. When I'm in situations, I often find myself thinking, gosh, how lucky am I that this is my evening walk through this field? Or how lucky am I that this coffee tastes so good? How lucky am I that I have a husband that makes the bed for me every morning? It can be the smallest things. How lucky am I that I was able to take this walk to work, past this rose bush and smell this gorgeous fragrance? It's appreciating the little things and the big things, and having that gratitude, I often find just makes me see everything in a more positive light. So if you don't automatically think like that, it is something that it's practice makes perfect. It's something that doesn't come naturally to everybody, and it is something that can be trained. Then having a little notebook by the side of your bed, I'm sure you'll have heard so many people talking about gratitude journals. They really work. And if you just spend 1 minute is all it takes at the end of the day to think, what were the great things that happened today? Did someone compliment you on your outfit? Did you find a new dress that made you feel amazing? Did you have a really nice interaction with someone at the coffee shop? It can be small, it can be big, but just focusing on those little things and training your brain to be grateful towards them, that can have a really big impact. So something else that I do to help my mind glow up throughout the summer months, and I would say that again, I do this a lot anyway, but I really want to focus on doing it more, is spending more time outside. And luckily, as the weather improves, it gets a lot easier to do this. There is something that happens chemically that literally turns your brain into a different setting, puts you in a much better mood, whether that's literally just going for a walk and having that little bit of dopamine from a bit of light exercise, or getting your hands dirty in the soil, spending time outside. I challenge you to be in a bad mood and go for a walk outside and still be in that bad mood when you get home. There's something magic in nature that I find very, very healing, and I think that's why for me gardening has become such a big part of my life. As I said earlier, I am quite naturally a high stress person, so having that time out in the garden just helps to bring me down a little bit, make me more relaxed, make me more happy, which in turn makes you glow. I often feel so cheesy when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, but it's just things that have been on my mind lately. And then speaking of your mind, something else that you can do is look to different ingredients, different nutrients, and different supplements to boost your mind. And this, I would say, starts from a really nutritious diet, making sure that you are experiencing as many different flavors and colors and different seasonal products, different seasonal ingredients as possible. I always think that eating seasonally means that you are consuming what the earth, what nature is recommending to you at that certain time of year, and often whatever is growing at a certain time of year is what our body naturally needs. So eating seasonally and eating whole foods, lots of lovely leafy greens, lots of veggies, lots of colourful things, that has a really great impact on not only your mind but also your appearance as well. Eating good quality food will literally make you glow from the inside. I'm trying to also be mindful of my supplement routine, that it kind of fills in any gaps. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Wild Nutrition. I take their daily essentials every single day. And something else that I'm attempting to get into a habit of is just kind of upgrading my water a little bit. This is not an ad, but this is something that I'm really keen to try out. It's from a company called Free Soul. It's a product called cortisol, and I was really impressed with the ingredients within this. So you've got things like ashwagandha, magnesium, you've got adaptogenic mushrooms, which are fantastic for the brain, like reishi, L-theanine, and then you've also got some vitamins C, B6, B12, and it's got a tropical flavor. So hydration is obviously super important. But if you find water a little bit boring, then something like this is a really great way of ensuring that you drink enough. Oh, it smells good. Let's check that there's no sugar in here. So there are sweeteners in here, so I would say this is going to be more of your kind of treat drink than, think of it more of like a treat drink than a healthy drink, although you are getting so many benefits with it as well. It's like an upgraded version of Lucozade. But with that in mind, making healthy swaps is often a really easy way to boost your glow this summer. So if you do love fizzy drinks, or you do love to buy things like Ribena, I used to love Ribena, having something like this is going to hopefully satisfy that side of things, but you get so many health benefits as well. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. That literally tastes like a fruit shoot or something. That is so good. If this is what it takes for you to drink more water, because hydration all throughout the year, but especially in summer, so important. If you find water boring, then this is such a good thing to add in because it makes it taste amazing. But there are so many, I mean, look at all of these incredible ingredients. I have no affiliation with this brand, I just thought it sounded really, really good. So I will leave this linked down below. But hydration is something that moves us from mind to body, because whether it's your skin, your muscles, your brain, everything needs hydration. So for example, I really see a difference in my skin, the way that my makeup sits, the way that my skin glows when I am hydrated versus dehydrated. So staying on top of your water consumption at this time of year in summer is especially important to getting that glow. And also something else that blends my mind and body is sleep. Sleep is so important. I try and make sure that I'm starting to think about going up to bed at 8:30. I know it's crazy because I like to be in bed, full skincare routine done by 9:30, and I am normally asleep by 10. I love summer mornings. That is a real dream time of day for me. I just love how quiet it is. I love getting up before other people do, before the house and the village starts stirring. So getting up about 5:30 in the mornings works for me, which means going to bed earlier, but prioritizing your sleep. It's really hard when there's so many lovely summer social events, but it just has such an impact on everything if you get your sleep routine right. So that is something else that's really important in your summer glow up. Okay, my darlings, I've actually just had a very exciting delivery. So oh my gosh, that was Charlie sneezing. Does anyone else's husband sneeze in the loudest way possible? Anyway, just had a very exciting delivery. So we're going to hop over to glowing up your summer wardrobe because both of these two deliveries are very much themed for a summer wardrobe glow up. So first of all, I would say that whatever you've got in your wardrobe, a great way to glow up an outfit is with accessories. I'm going to do a nice little try on for you later on of a few lovely summer dresses, but what I've just received is a delivery of new beautiful jewellery pieces from Mejuri. I am wearing pretty much all Mejuri right now from their dome collection, which I absolutely love. This classic gold bracelet, the dome ring that I wear pretty much every single day, this really lovely classic dainty necklace, which is the kind of necklace that you can just leave on. It works as a layering piece. It's really simple and dainty, and it's just got this sweet little heart and classic hoop earrings. But I have received some gorgeous pieces which are such a fabulous way to glow up your summer outfits. First of all, in here I have got the dome figure pearl hoops. These are quite possibly the most beautiful design I think I have ever seen. This is a great way to glow up your summer dresses, your beach outfits, your everyday outfits, but not just for summer. I would say with some really nice classic knitwear, this is going to look gorgeous throughout the year as well. These are actually 18 karat gold vermeil. Mejuri pieces are always really beautiful quality. You can wear them as everyday pieces. They don't tarnish. They always look beautiful. They are essentially a classic gold hoop, but with the addition of these little pearls, which gives them such a timeless and feminine, elevated look to them. I am going to style these with some beautiful dresses later on when my hair has settled, so I'll show you styling those shortly. I've also got something else from the dome collection. I'm a huge lover of Mejuri's dome collection. It's just so versatile. The price per wear of these pieces is so good because they're so classic and timeless and go with everything. I just find myself reaching for them all the time, and they always stack up really beautifully with other pieces. So these are the dome figure hoops without the pearls, so just a classic hoop, but they've got a really nice thickness to them, a nice weightiness but without being too heavy, and the fact that they are again 18 karat gold vermeil just gives them that beautiful shine, beautiful finish, and they look really luxurious but without a crazy high price tag. I believe they also come in sterling silver if silver is more the look that you like to go for. Now Mejuri have also released a lovely collection of necklaces under their Olivia collection, so really gorgeous, perfect for beachy looks, linen dresses with swimsuits. I feel like these are going to be perfect, and I opted for this gorgeous green colour, unsurprisingly. It'll stack really beautifully with other necklaces, and even the clasp itself is so pretty. I feel like I want to wear it at the front. In fact, I've got this little Baroque pearl charm, which I could probably add to the clasp of this necklace. Let's have a look. The beads on the necklace are actually jade, and all the metal is still that 18 karat gold vermeil. How fabulous. I love how that looks with the pearl attached. It just gives it a really beautiful feminine and classic finish. This is just going to be such a nice go-to for summer beachy outfits. So all of these Mejuri favorites will be linked in the description box down below, and I'm also going to leave a QR code on the screen here. You can scan it if you would like to shop my Mejuri favorites. But as I said, stay tuned because I'm going to style them with some more appropriate outfits in a few moments time. If you can hear some background noise, by the way, we're trying out the new Shark steam mop, and what I really want to do to glow up my home for summer is try out making my own rose water with petals from the garden, because with this steam mop you can put your own kind of scented liquid in there. So I thought if I could make my own rose water and put it in the steam mop, then how amazing is the house gonna smell? Okay, my darlings, a little change of scenery and the heatless curls are now out. They've done a good job. I'm actually going to look at getting one of those single rods that you put in and then roll your hair up from the bottom, because one of the girls that I was in France with, Rosie, she had just the most perfect blow-dried look, and I said to her, gosh, you've spent a long time doing your hair this morning, haven't you, and it looks perfect. And she was like, no, it's heatless curls and it's a different style to the one that I normally use. Anyway, I digress. So I wanted to come up here to share another delivery, something else which will glow up my wardrobe for summer, and it's a new bag from lovely British brand Studio by Charlotte. They've got the most gorgeous designs and I'm so excited for this bag. I just know it's going to be so versatile and go with so many, all in fact summer outfits. Oh my gosh, you guys are probably going to go a little bit crazy for this. I do have a discount code for Studio by Charlotte. She's very kindly set one up. I'll leave it on the screen here and linked down below, because trust me, you're gonna love this. Okay, are we ready? Such an exciting unboxing. Oh my gosh. Studio by Charlotte, England, in the little wrap. Oh my gosh. Oh! This is so beautiful. Okay, let's take off, just pop those over there for now. Take off the little plastic schnoz. So as you can see, it is this classic shape, like the, I'm never very good at remembering bag names, but like the full brown leather one that I've got. And this one has now got a canvas body to it, and I love a canvas bag. I think they just are so versatile. They go with so many different outfits. Oh my gosh, she is such a beauty. This bag I'm pretty sure is called the Francis. So to make it very secure, you have to do, a lot of people with my other bag, they were like, why do you always have it undone? Because honestly, it is a little bit of a faff to do it up. You have to weave these two straps over and then twist it, but it is worth it because that does look absolutely gorgeous. Like as an everyday handbag that's just a little bit smaller and more chic than the big bags that I normally carry around with me. It's got a little padlock here and a key detail. There we go, labels are off. And I'm pretty sure inside, see, this is another thing, if you do up all the straps, then it is a two-hand situation to undo it. And once you've used it a few times, it does kind of loosen up a little bit. The leather gets a bit softer. We've got a shoulder strap in here, but I'm not sure that I'd ever use it, to be honest, because it's just such a nice bag to have looped over the crook of your arm. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. So stunning, it's so timeless and perfect for both more casual occasions and also for dressing up for special events in summer as well. I did place an order on Nobody's Child, and I think it was an Instagram ad that inspired this order. So I'm going to try on those dresses and style them up with my beautiful new bag and my Mejuri jewellery that I showed you just a few moments ago. I've just switched rooms because I may have potentially left it a little bit late to film in the day. I'm pushing it a little bit now that we're approaching summer with my filming timings, because the light is very cool now, and that room, I love it on a really proper sunny moment, but the pink can look blue at certain times of day, which I don't love. But anyway, that's terribly boring. So this is the first of my new summer dresses. I am a huge lover of a smocked bodice. I find a smocked bodice so comfortable, and this colour I'm just loving this year, this season, and I think it's going to do something. To be honest, I've always loved this colour. One of my favourite ever dresses was a little boucle Zara dress that was this colour, and I actually have no idea where that dress ended up. It's such a shame because it was so gorgeous, but I'm so glad that this colour is having a big moment this season. And we've got a lovely tiered skirt. Looks perfect with the bag, truly absolutely perfect. And then I have styled with the dome figure pearl earrings from Mejuri, and oh my goodness, they are just heavenly. They've got this delicate little twist to them, which is really subtle, and I feel like a dress like this is the perfect way of dressing up a pair of earrings like this. But as I mentioned, also with more casual outfits, even jeans and a t-shirt, I feel like they'll be perfect. And then footwear wise, no surprises whatsoever. My little 𝑭𝒂𝒕 sandals, which I'll try and find something similar and leave linked down below. But the dress is gorgeous. It's got pockets, fabulous silhouette, nice and stretchy, so very comfy. And it's a material that you just know is also going to be easy to wash because it's not too delicate. It's not going to crease up too badly. So a really nice one for summer special events. Oh my gosh. My view while I was filming that clip, oh, he's just going for a wee, sorry, was Dickie having the best time just rolling around on the grass, living his best life. Can you see on the left the green Tracheospermum that's growing up the house? The jasmine is just about to come into flower. That is going to be so heavenly when it does. Now I feel like I might potentially be physically blending in with the walls in this dress. It is in fact the exact same dress, but in green. Of course, when I saw it in green, I could not resist. I'm going to do a little earring switch out and pop the classic hoops without the pearls. They, by the way, they kind of clip together, so they're really secure in your ear. Sometimes hoops are a post with a butterfly clip on the back, and if you ever need to rest your head, if you're on an aeroplane and you're sleeping, or you've got over-ear headphones in, then I find that the post just kind of stabs you a little bit, whereas these are very comfortable. So you've got that same lovely twist but without the pearls here. This whole outfit right down to the jewellery, same as last time, just slightly different. So dress wise, I'm not wearing the right bra. This one's quite overly lacy, but again the same silhouette with the smocked bodice, which means the fit is absolutely gorgeous. The same detail where you have got pockets, which is fabulous and can be styled in the exact same way with a classic bag and the heels. I don't need both, so feel like when we see the next dress, that could potentially decide which of these two I keep. So let me know what you guys think. Now this dress, with a few minor tweaks, aka lifting the shoulders up by about ½ an inch, which is such an easy thing to do, is as close to perfection as it gets. This is actually the dress that was served to me as an ad on my Instagram stories, and that made me instantly click, go through to the website and make the purchase. So as you can see, this is where it naturally falls. It's probably designed for ladies with a little bit more bosom than I have, and I very often have to just bring things up by ½ an inch, whereas normally people's boobs would fill out a dress, mine just don't. So I'm sure most of you would be fine, but I'm also not wearing a bra, so that definitely doesn't help. If I was to bring my clueless child, if I was to bring these straps up by just an inch, then the fit will be perfection. The underarm holes will be in the right place, the chest won't be gaping, it'll be perfect. So let's pretend that the bodice is sitting just a few inches higher. Once again, we have got, do we? No, we don't have pockets. No pockets in this one, but you've got this lovely, what I like to call almost like a princess waistline, where it goes into a little V there. It reminds me of Victorian wedding dresses, especially when you pair with a slightly more square neckline. Speaking of neckline, let's add in the Olivia necklace. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that looks absolutely gorgeous. To be honest, with a dress like this, I would probably actually normally keep it simple. But I think with a linen dress, like a white linen dress, or more of a beachy outfit, that by itself or as a combo, so pretty. It just looks so nice, this jade beads against the skin. Lengthwise, when I adjust the shoulders, it is the perfect kind of midi length as well. It's just such a lovely pattern. It's a really beautiful silhouette. The colour of the season as well in that buttercup yellow. So what do we think? This one and the green smocked bodice? I feel like they're the perfect outfits to glow up my wardrobe for summer. But let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna pop my original outfit back on now to have a little push in the garden, but while I do that, switching back to glowing up the body and the skin, I did film, actually I filmed a few snippets this morning. Something that I was thinking about in France when it came to my outfits was how often your shoulders and your arms are on show. So what I've done is I've decided I'm going to add in an arm circuit, just like 10 minutes of arms, into my morning workout routine. And I filmed a few clips this morning, some really simple moves, whether it's weighted lateral raises or bicep curls, either stood or kneeling, and then tricep dips. And these 3 moves, you can add in a few others, but I'll show you on the screen here. These 3 moves can be really transformative when it comes to having nice toned shoulders, toned arms, and 10 minutes is all you really need to do. So that's something that I've switched into my workout routine to help glow up my arms and shoulders for summer. And then I also filmed a little clip post shower this morning as well to chat you through a few of my favourite beauty products that, in my opinion, are just fantastic, not only for the face but for the whole body to literally glow. So let's whiz back in time. I don't want to give you a jump fright, so we are going to go back to makeup free, fresh out the shower Josie, and I'll talk you through my glowing summer skin and body favourites. Okay, my darlings, fresh from the shower, and I'm going to show you a few of my beauty product favourites that help me to glow up in the late spring and summer months. So literally just going through what I have just used, and actually they are still dripping because I just used them. Something which I would so highly recommend is a pair of exfoliating gloves. I use these every single time that I have a shower, and my favourite product to use them with is the L'Occitane Almond Oil Shower Oil. The reason that this is such a great combo is because these exfoliate you really gently, and this, as you can guess from the name, it's got lovely almond oil in it. It's so nourishing and hydrating, and it really leaves the skin glowing, so much so that sometimes I feel like I could get away with skipping a body lotion, but I don't because I like all the moisturization I can get. But this is the ultimate little dream team. But speaking of exfoliation, something that I'm getting good at sticking in the habit with is actually dry body brushing. And I remember years ago people used to say, oh, the only way that you can get rid of cellulite is dry body brushing. I don't even think that's true. You know what, I don't really care about things like that, but what I do know is that it feels really good. It feels so relaxing. It takes just 2 minutes. What I do, I can't show you properly because I do it butt naked, is I start with, okay, I'm gonna try not to flash you. I start with my right leg. I don't know why, but you're meant to start on the right hand side. I put the body brush in my right hand, and then I do fairly light, a little bit more than this, fairly light strokes upwards, starting from my feet up towards my knees, and then I stroke that bit of skin with my hand afterwards as well. And just, you're not trying to scratch your skin, you're just really lightly brushing. Like the pressure I would use is like that, so you feel a tingle, but not, you're definitely not scratching yourself. I remember when I first started dry body brushing, I thought, oh, I've got to almost like cut my skin in order to get the benefits, and then when I would get in the shower, it would hurt, it would sting. That's not the plan. It's just really nice, lightweight strokes. This is really good for lymphatic drainage. It gets everything under the skin moving, helps bring up all of the, it just kind of helps everything get moving, which does help the skin glow from within, but also because the act of brushing, sometimes, especially if you've not done it in a while and you've not been too on top of your hydration routine or your body lotion routine, sometimes you do it and you can actually kind of see, this is a bit gross, but you can see the dry skin literally coming off your legs or wherever else you're doing it, which is gross but satisfying. And so what you're doing is giving yourself a really light exfoliation. So with this and my little exfoliating gloves, I'm essentially doing a double but light exfoliation every single time that I shower. You can get dry body brushes really affordably from Amazon. I will leave a little page on my Amazon storefront, which is my glow up summer essentials, so things like my body brush, exfoliating gloves, and other little bits and bobs that I mentioned throughout the video. But it's something that I like to make time for every day. I will pop on just a really short little YouTube video, or if someone's done a reel that I want to watch that's a bit longer, that's still quite short, like a 2-minute reel, then I'll pop that on while I'm doing this. So it's the same with your arms. I start on the right, then go to the left, starting even from the backs of my hands all the way down. And you want to make sure that you do under your arms as well, especially for the lymph nodes. Really important for us girls to get everything moving around there. And then I am so light on my chest, it's almost like it's barely even touching, because the skin on your chest is really delicate, but always just towards the heart. So when I'm doing my tummy, again, really light upward strokes. And yeah, it's just a really nice part of your routine that glows you up from within and from the outside as well. So another way that I exfoliate in the shower, particularly if it's a leg shaving day, is with a gentle body scrub. And I've got two favorites. This one here from Aveeno is their Skin Renewal Gentle Body Scrub. And the reason I like this is because it's got, it says naturally derived PHA, and this has got something in it as well, lava rock bamboo extract. Basically, these both use both physical exfoliation and chemical exfoliation. So basically a really thorough, but they both also contain moisturizing ingredients. This one's got nourishing oat niacinamide, and this one's got avocado oil, hibiscus extract. So they're hydrating the skin as well as exfoliating. So these are my two favorites. This you can get as a freebie if you sign up to an 𝑭𝒆 starter kit. I think that'll still be active. I'll leave the link for that down below. You need a discount code for that, but I'll leave it in the description box. And this, again, you can get on Amazon, you can get it on Boots, you can get it on Look Fantastic. So highly recommend both of those. They're both really, really lovely products. And then when it comes to my face, you want to be, again, using something that's just very gradually, like a really light exfoliation every day. So I use most mornings the Glow Tonic from Pixi. Got a little bit, you can, I mean, it's huge and I've got this much left. This has got glycolic acid in it, but it's still very gentle. So I pop some of this on one of my reusable cotton pads. Again, they'll be in my Amazon glow up page on the storefront, which, by the way, we've literally given my Amazon storefront a glow up as well. So hopefully now it's super organized, super clear, and really fun to shop. So have a little look on there. You'll find favorite things that you recognize from me using all the time, whether I'm cooking or making smoothies, like glass straws and my smoothie glasses, things like that, and lots of cleaning products. So hopefully you'll take just a moment. If you're watching this on the TV, I'll pop a QR code here that'll take you to the Amazon storefront, and you can have a browse on your phone while you're watching. And yeah, you'll find so many of my favorites there. I digress. The Glow Up Tonic, alongside a nice facial exfoliator. I like to use a very, very gentle facial exfoliator. Same reasons as the body, it gets rid of that top layer of skin, which is dry and essentially dulling. So this is making you literally glow. One that I'm loving at the moment is the Pro Collagen Glow Boost Exfoliator from Elemis. This is really nice, super fine little particles in a very nourishing gel. So again, it's hydrating while it's exfoliating, and because it's part of the Pro Collagen range, it's got those anti-aging ingredients in it as well. And I find that my serums and my skincare, they sink in so much better if I'm on top of my exfoliating routine. Go careful if you have got sensitive skin, but just always make sure as well you're using a really nice hyaluronic acid and a nice vitamin C. To be honest, I don't really mind which hyaluronic acid that I use, but one that I've got in my cupboard at the moment is this one here from Bioma, and it's a triceramide complex. Ceramide's incredibly protective and reparative for your skin, and really nice ingredients within this. I'll leave it linked down below, with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. Then Every Day Without Fail, which also literally makes your skin glow, is a vitamin C. You can get vitamin C at so many different price points, but my favorite, annoyingly, is a very expensive one. I treat myself to this because it's one of my favorite parts of my morning routine, and it's the 𝑭𝒊𝒂𝒕 Super C. Again, I get this on Look Fantastic, and I use my own discount code Josie LF because it always gets me just a little something off. And today, because I don't need to rush to put any makeup on, I'm going to treat myself to a lovely oil. An oil will make your skin glow because your skin will be so grateful for the lovely, nourishing ingredients. And I am obsessed with 𝑃 at the moment, 𝑃 skincare. Their ingredients are incredible, vegan, paraben-free, cruelty-free, and just really, they've taken the time to look to nature and find the best, more natural ingredients. So this is a high-potency rosehip oil. Rosehip is incredibly reparative, so great for me, particularly because I flew back from France last night, being on a long-haul flight, being in the sun for a little while. Even though I had my hat on all the time and Factor 50 on my face, I can still feel just that little tingle. So rosehip oil is going to be so reparative and bring the glow. You will see in the next like 12 seconds how this brings the glow back to my skin. And although this is a slightly thicker oil, when your skin needs it, it will drink it in so quickly. So within an hour, this will have sunk in. I wouldn't do this on a day when I'm about to pop makeup on straight away. I always like to give myself just a little facial massage too, just for 30 seconds. Oh, it always feels so good when you get that crunchy bit on your jaw. I always clench my jaw, my tongue is always on the roof of my mouth because I'm just a stressy person. So this feels so good. Just taking your knuckles like this, like a little angry bunny, and massaging upwards. And then just make sure you take it down your neck too. Drain those lymph nodes. That's not a proper facial massage. If you want to do it properly, you need to like open them and everything. But that just feels really good. So there we go. Obviously a nice body lotion, but there are so many good ones. I won't go into that. So those are a few of my bathroom beauty, skincare, body care products that help me to glow up, that I really love the routine that I'm in. I really want to ensure that I'm sticking with things like the double exfoliation, the body brushing, because it makes me feel good and it helps me to glow. So anyway, that's my routine at the moment. Okay, we are back. I hope you enjoyed that little beauty glow up routine, and now normal vlogging is going to resume. I just wanted to share a few thoughts that I've been having on how I personally am going to be giving myself a bit of a summer glow up. Nothing drastic, nothing unachievable, just little daily things that I'm going to do. Another one, I guess, is looking after the condition of my hair by using heatless curls. I have applied no heat to my hair today, and you know, it's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. Just having heatless curls in, I let my hair dry naturally from the shower for about, I was working from home all day today, so I let my hair dry naturally from the shower for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, just while I was sat doing emails, and then popped in heatless curls when it was nearly dry. A couple of hours later, it looks like this. I'm not going anywhere tonight, it doesn't matter, but it's just, you know, nice to have a little bit of wave, and when I'm not doing anything at home, just laptop time, then I might as well. I put on a jumper now because it's a little bit chilly and I want to go and just potter around the garden, see if anything else needs Chelsea chopping. I can actually see some salvia from here that needs Chelsea chopping. I might go and put on some non-cream trousers, but I just wanted to show you a little outfit that's more casual than the dresses, that styles this bag and the earrings. Let's be honest, this is what we do have to wear most of the time in spring, and even some summer months in the UK, a knit is always very useful. But with jeans, nice knit, the bag just looks absolutely perfect. I might actually wear this tomorrow. I've got a really fun day tomorrow, I can't wait to bring you along. I've got a foraging walk with, I believe they're called the Cotswold Forager, and it's been organised by Bull in Burford, which is a really cool restaurant and hotel. So I'll take you along to that, but I probably will wear this, but maybe darker coloured jeans. And the twisted hoops just look absolutely perfect. These are the ones without the pearls, and they're just the perfect classic jewellery that you just don't even really need to think about. You just know it's going to go with all of the outfits. So there we go, enough chit chat. I'm going to go and chivvy Charlie on to start making dinner, because I'm getting peckish, and he said he's going to do it tonight. But yeah, let's just have a little stroll around the garden together, and I'll show you where things are at the moment. And then it is going to be a busy weekend of catching up on my gardening to-do list. So this here is a really good visual as to why you should do the Chelsea chop. To be fair, it does look like a dog has sat here, but you can see the Nepeta has got so big and tall, and then it has been seriously windy today. I'm surprised this allium is still standing, and it's blown everything over, creating this big gap, and it's not... Hey, Boon Boon! Hello, my sweet child! Oh, my sweet! Oh, my teeny weeny baby! Oh. Yeah, it's not the most sightly of things. So I'm actually going to pick this salvia, put it in a nice little flower display, and this will all grow back. So it won't be looking disastrous for long. Other than that, the herbaceous border is looking good. I'm just going to come and pick away anything that has been slightly battered by the wind, anything that's snapped. Some of the salvia is too long. The lavender is coming back really healthily. Some of the penstemon snapped today as well, so I've already rescued that and got that in the sink. This is one that I did give a Chelsea chop to last week, and it's starting to come back, so that's looking good. Some of the grasses can be snipped back a little bit. If you like making flower displays, then it's a good excuse to snip some bits down and give them a chop. Oh, I do have something really exciting to show you down here. Was very loud, little bird. Oh, my buds, my rose buds are really coming through thick and fast. You are just my favourite gardening companion, sweet chick. My sweet and tiny. You've got pollen on your ear. Oh, or is it poo? It could be poo, you stinker. But yes, my roses, look how many buds we've got. In a few days, this is going to be covered. I came down this morning with my coffee and my trug, and I did a little bit of rose deadheading. You are a terror, and this cage and you jumping is exactly the reason that we've got a cage now, bunny. So lovely Martin has created a cage for us to protect our strawberries from sausage dog, bird and pigeon and munkjack attacks, which is very, very handy. We don't yet have 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. Dickie, do not dig up my peas. Gosh, the birds are being very loud tonight. Yeah, we're going to put hinges on it so that we can access the strawberries really easily, but this is what we need. We need this protection to stop them getting eaten. I have no idea where we're going to store this when we're not doing strawberries, but there we go. To be honest, the beds are just looking quite messy. I really need to spend some time down here, but tonight is not the night. Not only because I'm wearing white trousers, but just from a timing point of view. And we've reached that time of year when every single day I have to come and deadhead my roses, even when they get to this point. I mean, I'll have to deadhead this one in the morning because as soon as the petals start to get a bit loose, it's just a bit of a pain in the butt if they all fall all over the raised beds. So I do pick them just before they should really be deadheaded, just because it saves me having to pick up the petals. So what I would really like to know is if you guys have got any ideas as to what I can do with the petals. I was thinking, in fact I might try this now, I might try making a simmer pot. Again, it's something that I see a lot of my US wholesome homemakery girlies doing, and they just put loads of seasonal ingredients in some water and they simmer it on a low heat on their hob, and it just makes the house smell amazing. So I might give that a try. Like this rose here, even this morning it was not looking quite this fabulous, but now if you just pull one petal and if it comes away really easily, then you know that it's just about to lose all its petals, especially with the wind that we've currently got. And if I am, ooh, that needs adjusting as well. If I am going to do a flower display, which I'm going to do now, I can put in loads of peonies. My peonies are all mega blooming. Oh wow, oh my goodness me, look at this. Look at this. It doesn't look anywhere near as spectacular on camera as it does in real life, but this whole area is just full of marshmallow peonies. They look incredible. And these giant ones up here are Angelica, and they're fantastic in cut flower displays. So I think I need to get cracking. Let's get my scissors, get my vase out, got my companion sausage. Oh gosh, these have just not done well at all. I've really neglected my peas this year, and it's my biggest gardening regret of 2025 is neglecting my peas and mange too, because they are actually They are actually my favourite thing to grow, but I've really neglected them. As you can see, it looks really bad, so need to sort that out. Also need to pick some rhubarb. So rhubarb ideas and what to do with rose petals, I would be very grateful for. Yeah, that one can be picked as well. Oh gosh, where to begin? Look at this. This is just day one of rose deadheading in the garden. We've got an entire summer of this. So this is my official invitation to anyone that happens to be getting married in the Cotswolds, well, north of the Cotswolds. If you want to have some fresh rose petals for your confetti, I'll do the same as I did last year and offer up my rose petals. So if you do live in the north of the Cotswolds and you want to pick up a bucket of rose petals, probably from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, I guess is the easiest thing for me to do, then let me know, drop me an email, and I will deliver you a bag. Well, I will leave at 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 a bag full of rose petals. I did it for about 3 or 4 of you last summer, and you had fresh rose petals for your confetti throw on your wedding, because trust me, this is the best. This is what we had on our wedding day, and the smell was so amazing. A few of you actually sent me photos of your confetti throws using petals from my garden, and it really made my day. So anyone getting married this year, if you want fresh petals, let me know. But also, guys, please share your ideas with me. What can I do with these? What can I make with them? Because they're light, they don't dry out that well, but I've got plenty to experiment with. So I'm going to do a little bit of research tonight and figure out what to do with them. This is one of the best smelling roses I think I have ever smelt. We've got a ginormous bush. I did probably pick this one a little bit prematurely because actually I'm giving that a gentle tug and the petals aren't coming out. But it was facing down, the stem had snapped, so I thought I'll pick it. I'm actually going to try doing the simmer pot with this one because there are so many fragrant petals on here. There must be something that I can do to make the kitchen smell of beautiful rose. Please excuse the dog food that is defrosting. In fact, that's good, that's defrosted. So I've just put some filtered water from the tap in here, about 1 inch, and I'm literally just going to pluck the petals from this and pop them in. I just had a quick look online, and people sometimes add slices of orange, a little bit of lavender. My lavender is definitely not ready to be harvested yet. People add cinnamon sticks, but I'm just going to do pure rose. So you can hear the water is coming up to boil, and when it does, I will move it over to a lower heat. I can already smell the rose petals, so I feel like this could be such a nice thing to do to fill your house with fragrance if you've got guests coming over, or if, like us, you are planning on doing a curry and you want the house to smell of roses instead of curries after you've cooked. It's a really nice natural air freshener. This is probably a safety hazard, so don't try this at home, but I feel like with the steam, rose-infused steam that's coming off here, if I didn't have any makeup on, this such a good facial, no? Okay, that's bubbling. So I'm going to slide it over to here. Don't want to burn my petals. And that was just the petals from one rose. I could do so many more, but it does smell so lovely. It's subtle, but next time I'll probably do like 10 roses. I'll probably do this again after Charlie's finished making the curry. But yeah, what a fun little idea and so easy. Okay, so I would normally do my flower arranging outside, but because it's so windy today, any flower that I put in here is just gonna blow all over the place. So I've just put some water in here, and have I got a basket? Where's my, ah, there it is. I'm going to just pop my little bit of scrunched up chicken wire in the bottom here, and this will just help the stems to stay where I put them. And let's go out and first of all prioritize anything that's snapped in the wind or flopped over, anything that's head has got too big and it's flopping over. Fill this basket with blooms and then we'll come back in here and do a little bit of arranging. Done, dinner eaten, and now it's time for a nice golden hour walk with my boys. This one's always in my shadow, and this one's always being Mr. Independent. The grasses are growing very tall in here. I'm still not too sure what they're growing. I don't know if this is going to end up being wheat and it's just a little bit further behind the next field. We shall see. Ooh, is that an elderberry bush? Looking forward to foraging tomorrow. I've never done a proper foraging walk at this time of year before, so no doubt I will learn a lot. Here comes the handsome one. Come on, my big boy. So when it comes to my summer glow up, a daily walk is something else to add to my daily routine. Ticks off a couple of boxes. A little bit of exercise, a little bit of cardio, getting those 10k steps a day, and also getting out in nature. It's also a nice time to just, I try not to go on my phone, sometimes I do for a couple of minutes, but I don't listen to anything, I just listen to the sounds of nature, try and be as present as possible. So I guess it's a little bit of a kind of meditative walk as well, touching nature and trying to think about what I've been grateful for on this day. So I'm going to put you guys away now and enjoy the walk, and I'll see you tomorrow. Off for the night, but this is the free way to get a red light LED facial the first half an hour and the last half an hour of the sun's rays, that golden hour, that glow, first half an hour of the day, last half an hour of the day. This is when the sun emits the safest red light, so you don't need SPF. It's just full of goodness for your skin, helps to give you that glow naturally. So not all of these things cost any money or require any effort aside from you just going outside and yeah, just enjoying that free little facial to help you glow for summer. And this is my moment of gratitude for the day. A beautiful, fairly clear evening-ish. Clear enough that I get to see that last little bit of the sun for the day. Now we've got a few hundred meters left. We always walk to the top of the hill And then it's home time for treats, babies. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, my darlings. It is now Friday morning. The heatless curls have not worked today. It's curly where I don't want it to be curly, and it's straight where I want it to be curly. This was a big risk, doing my hair in heatless curls and not taking them out until I was in the car, because now there's nothing I can do about it. This is, I think, the worst they have ever looked, which is terribly annoying. But I am currently just at the very annoying little roundabout that you always get stuck on. I'm actually running late, which is very frustrating, because I got stuck behind the slowest drivers known to mankind. But as I mentioned yesterday, I'm coming over to Burford, and it's a new-ish hotel. It's been here for about a year or so. Really lovely hotel, nice restaurant. Actually, I think they've got 3 or 4 restaurants. I think they might even have a Spanish now called Toro. But we are going to be having our lunch at Wild. I say we, I'm here by myself because Charlie has actually got so much work he needs to catch up on. I'm quite good, let's put this up. I'm quite good at like squeezing bits of work in whenever I have a moment. Like even now I've got my laptop with me, and if there's like a moment I'll just get a few emails done. But Charlie has to be really sat down at his desk and in the zone, so he does often get a little bit distracted and he does often get a little bit behind. I'm not gonna lie, that's just our 2 different working styles. Yay, let's just see if I can get over the traffic lights. So he is having an office day today, although with this weather I bet he just ends up gardening. I guarantee it, he'll end up gardening, even though he's meant to be having a productive day. Anyway, enough about Charlie's work routines. Burford is obviously such a gorgeous village here in the Cotswolds, one of the most famous villages, and I will take you for a little walk around the village afterwards. We're meant to be meeting at 10, it's currently 10 past 10. It's also quite hard to park in Burford, so that is going to be fun. But we've got a foraging walk with, I believe his name's Ben, but we'll meet him in a second, and he is the Cotswold forager. And I think one of the chefs from Bull is also coming along, and then we're going to cook / eat what we've foraged. So basically my dream day. I love foraging. I've done a few like organized forages before, but never at this time of year. I've already seen lots of elderflower in the bushes, so no doubt we'll forage some of that. I've bought a big basket bag with me and my little dust bags, which I personally like to use for collecting my foraged material. So it's going to be a really lovely day. And then naturally, seeing as we are in Burford, I'm going to pop to Burford Garden Co later. Anyway, I now need to concentrate on finding somewhere to park. We are hitching a ride in the Bull Landies to get to the foraging spots.
It's a plant called pineapple weed. Now I'll just use the common names with you guys. I've found over enough time that if I use the scientific names, people might tend to wrong. Different parts of the country, there might be different common names. This one's not too bad. This has only got 3 common names, but there are some plants we might talk about later that might have 50 different common names in this country. And every country you go to has 50 common names. So it needs to grow in the most awkward spots because it's naturally a plant from the Mediterranean, and it really likes these dried, sort of parched, compacted soils where not a lot of other stuff will grow. The reason it's called pineapple weed is because the little flowers kind of resemble a small pineapple in form, but actually if you have a smell of it, the smell as well,
thank you,
is any rose that grows outside unprotected, you can use the petals of. You can use the unopened flower buds. A lot of people turn the unopened flower buds into capers as well, but the petals are really good in salads. They're really good at putting it through syrups. They're really good on cakes and things as a garnish. I tend to use them a lot in salads as a garnish. as a general rule of thumb, the darker the colour of the rose and the stronger the aroma of the rose, the stronger the flavour tends to be. For salads, I tend to sort of, everything you're picking to make use of later, you should be trying while you're picking it, so you've got an idea of what the flavour profile is like. Because depending on where you pick it from, the flavour can differ. It was mentioned earlier, if you pick something from the sunny side of a bush or a sunny area, it will taste different to a shady area.
Thank you.
They have it in parts of Tuscany, and what they do is they gather the cones in the late spring, early summer, quite often when they're a bit smaller than this, although these will still work. And they layer them up in a big glass jar, and they put a layer of white bleached sugar, and then they put a layer of the cones, and they put another layer of white bleached sugar, and then another layer of cones, all the way up and finish with a layer of sugar. Then they'll put a lid on it, and they'll stand it in the sunniest part of the garden. And what they're doing is they're using the hygroscopic nature of the sugar, which means it pulls moisture in, and the heat of the sun to together pull out a lot of volatile flavour compounds out of the cones into the syrup that's made. And what you end up with is a jar that's got a thick silty layer of sugar at the bottom with a layer of syrup on the top, and then all your cones sat through there. And if you pick the cones young enough, you can take those out then and boil them in a separate batch of sugar, and you can use them to make what they call a jam. It's not quite a jam, but it works very well. And then you've got your Megoglio syrup, and then you've got a layer of sugar underneath that's wet and is infused with the flavour of the cones as well. And you get this lovely piney, citrusy, resinous flavour. The downside is that for most people is you've got to get past the fact in your head that when you think about things that are piney, people always think about toilet cleaners and cleaning. But actually the flavour profile is amazing. If you like citrusy additions to dishes, they work really well with it.
Ooh, pine syrup over a lemon drizzle cake.
Hogweed tends to have these very, very glossy leaves. Can you see how shiny those leaves are? As we go along a bit later, we'll potentially come across some cow pasture. I'm just looking to see if I can see any at the moment. I think we've passed a bit as we were driving through. But the cow pasture is almost all gone over already. It's gone through the growth stage, it's gone through the flowering stage, it's set seed, and it's almost finished. This is just getting to the point of flowering.
They look like fennel seeds. Do they taste similar or?
Family.
Oh, of course.
They don't taste similar to fennel, but they are still edible.
Rob is taking us towards the elderflower. He was saying that you want to pick it as early in the morning, beat the bugs so that you can get some of the pollen on the flowers, which is where all of the flavour and goodness is. And you want to make sure you smell them so that they don't smell catty.
You guys check.
Let's see. I'm gonna give this one a sniff.
The elderflower. Have a smell of the elderflower there and see what you think.
Oh, whether it smells like cat pee.
Ah,
yeah.
Right. Earlier in the day, the smell should be much fresher. In fact, we'll just gather two off this bush so you can see. Although they're actually still both fairly good. The older ones on this one.
That one over there?
There's one.
Is that a bit older?
But can you see with these ones, they're both actually quite similar.
Yeah.
How bright yellow
The middle.
these little stamens in the centre are. As they get older, as they age, they tend to go more of a yellow. You can see at the tips, they're brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so fresh. So this here is a blackberry bush. These one day in autumn will be little blackberries, but Rob was just saying that you can brew the leaves just like you would a raspberry leaf in a tea, leave it steeping for quite some time. So that's something nice. You can come and forage. It's very plentiful at this time of year. So another little tip, this is a dock leaf, and I don't know about you, but when I was little I was always told to rub a dock leaf on a nettle sting. That is kind of accurate, but you don't want to take a big leaf. You want to take one of these fresh young ones at the top, and ideally it should be full of moisture, full of compounds, and you want to really mush it up in your hand. You can put it in your mouth and chew it, but I will probably do it in my hand keep doing this until you almost get a liquid out of it, and then that liquid is what's going to take the sting out of a nettle. Just rubbing the leaf is not really going to do much. Rob was just saying it's mostly to distract a child for a few minutes until the sting naturally goes away, but if you really need to get rid of a sting, rub a leaf, ideally between two hands. There we go, you can see it's starting to get a bit gooey now. And then that little bit of liquid is what's going to take the sting out. So interesting. Nature's medicine. Nature's Savlon. Whenever I come on these little foraging days, I always learn so much. It's so interesting to come and do something like this with an expert at different times of year. I feel like I want to do it monthly because every season, every month, there's something new you can forage. It feels like only a few days ago I was foraging dandelions with you guys and doing that dandelion leaf tart. But now they're kind of going over a little bit and we're into elderflower season, which is really exciting. But nature just changes so quickly, and I love learning all the little tips and tricks from all these foraging experts. Rob's been doing it for over 30 years and I've learned so much. When I get home I'll show you what's in my Gucci foraging bags and explain some of the recipes that we can do with these ingredients. But I think we're going to learn more of that side of things from Ben, who's, oh, sorry, I'm going uphill, who's a chef at Bull, who's going to talk us through a few ways of eating the things that we forage. In fact, this might be him up here. So if anyone's local and wants to forage where we've just been foraging, you can see it's a public footpath. I think it's called the 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 Valley, and I'll find out the name of this lane in a second when we get to the end, and you'll be able to see how to access the valley of 1,000 ingredients. Oops, I've lost the group. Where have they gone?
In a lot of the big old parks and gardens where they used to send mowers out like once a week, they've now planted big swathes of these so they don't have to bother with mowing, they can just leave them. So these were called 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 daisies because the flower is about the size of an ox's eye and the height of them is around about the height where an ox's eye would sit. I would absolutely use this top part and juice it the same way you would use celery. I'm hoping that we can find something that's a little bit bigger in a bit, because there's a really nice thing you can do in salads where you just literally cut small rings off and have those as part of your salad. But I think these are going to be a little bit too fibrous to try. I'm going to hold out and hope that we find some better ones than that. Is the sort of size thing you'd be using to make your capers. Yeah?
So we are walking through a meadow of 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 daisies. You can eat the leaves, they're actually really tasty, pop them in a salad. And the petals on the 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 daisies are also edible, but they don't have quite as much taste on them. So we're on the edge of a farmer's field here, and I just asked Rob his opinions on if it's still safe, because the farmer might have sprayed the fields with something. But he said normally the fields that have got these wild borders, the farmers are not spraying them so much because they are using more natural farming methods. Also, this field did have a few little gaps in it where there wasn't any crop, so that would lead us to think they probably haven't used any fertilizer either. So this is definitely a safe place to pick our little 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 daisies. Oh, and the buds unopened, you can use them as capers, so add them with salt and then put them in some vinegar. A nice addition to a salad. I always used to think capers were fish, but they're not, they're just salty little buds.
You were talking about 𝑑𝒢𝒄 a minute ago. I would use these as part of my spice mix at the start. When you're tempering your spices in the pan, put these in as one of your tempering spices for a 𝑑𝒢𝒄.
Lovely.
For a curry, they're absolutely delicious.
With a mustard seed or something. Nice.
And your cinnamon sticks and your fenugreek and cardamom and all that.
And this is from hogweed or cow parsley?
This is from hogweed again.
Hogweed.
So we've got hogweed here, and this is just the one from the centre that's already finished flowering, and the seed have just set, but they're very, very young.
So they have very quickly infused some of the pineapple weed that we foraged with some smoked lemon syrup, and we've got some Prosecco and some gin in here as well for a lovely little forage cocktail. Chin chin.
So that's the 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 daisy leaf, which is the one that's got the almost the I feel like I'm doing it a real disservice now by saying it's got that 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 lettuce flavour to it.
Oh yes, yeah. So we got these amazing Orkney scallops, which I've made a really fresh pea panna cotta. We've got some radishes from the garden across the road, along with some garden peas. So along that with a little bit of like the lettuce element, there's this like really kind of like touch of garden and foraging kind of freshness, you know?
And then if you want to, because these might work with any of the bits, you've got some cow parsley seeds and flowers there, and also hogweed flowers and hogweed seeds, but they're much stronger.
Okay, my darlings, I have just left Bull. That was an incredible experience. I'll sit down and tell you all about it properly when I get in the car. But I thought, seeing as I've actually got a parking space, which is quite rare in Burford, I'm just gonna have a little stroll down the high street and show you a few of my favorite little spots if you do come to this very famous little Cotswold town. Down at the bottom end of the high street, and that shop that I was just in is Amanda Hanley's, and it's a really lovely selection of homeware, really good edit of books. They've even got a little delicatessen in there, and then just next door is Nutmeg and Thyme, and they've got lots of tractor going up the high street. They've got lots of lovely products from local brands. Let's go and see what's inside this week. This is cute, little educational children's cards. And there's this lovely cafe deli at the back. They've got a great coffee machine. They do salads and cakes. It's a really lovely little spot hidden away at the back here. And then just across the road, this is Bramble and Gooseberry. They sell lovely scented candles made with soy wax. Another really lovely local business. We'll have a little investigate in here. Wren Gallery is next door, and they have got the loveliest prints in here. This one just seems to be kind of like where we've just been foraging. There's a cherry blossom, there's some wild nettles in there. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love their botanical still lifes. They've got more in the window here. Little pomegranates, it's so beautiful. And it's always worth just having a little look down the side streets because they are often the cutest little spots. I feel like Charlie would admire this, a shop dedicated to brushes. Every brush you could possibly dream of. This is what I was talking about earlier in the video. A nice dry body brush. This is a good one, the Burford Sweet Shop. It is everything you imagine an old-fashioned sweet shop to be. They've got everything from rosy apples to the bonbons and the gobstoppers, all in the iconic glass jars. I absolutely love this little spot. And then Hufkin is a bakery and tea room that you'll find a few different spots of throughout the Cotswolds. They do a very good chai latte and nice little cupcakes as well. And Linwood, another very small chain of cafes in the area. And they do a really nice sourdough loaf. So Highway is the same owners as the Bull where we just were. And they've got a, look at the doorway, so cool. Very old school. They've got a apparently really amazing Spanish restaurant in here called Toro, which I am desperate to try. And then we're almost back near the Bull where I parked, so we've saved a couple of my favourites till last. We've got a fantastic butcher and deli here, as well as the Cotswold Cheese Company and Manfred Schotten, which is a really great antique shop. All three of these I could happily spend a lot of time in mooching around. Don't think I need any cheese today, so I won't tempt myself. This is a great butcher's. They've got fantastic breads and pâtés and nibbly bits, lots of great pies, and then a really beautiful antique shop, quite like premium antiques, here at Manfred Schotten. And then I just have to show you this. This is the Little Mad Hatter Emporium, children's books and toys, and they've got a little Defender in the window. How amazing is that? Oh, and this place, Walker's, you can get Charnwood stoves in there, and they installed the stoves in our house. Fun fact. And you can also get your logs from here. Okay, my darlings, we can have a little catch up while I crawl slowly back up Burford High Street towards the garden centre. That was literally my dream way to spend a morning, with like-minded people all very interested in nature, in ingredients, in foraging. Rob, the Cotswold forager, was so knowledgeable. He picked out so many different ingredients, and I can tell he's very passionate about cooking, because there were so many different recipes that he was just coming out with on the tip of his tongue during the walk. It was lovely to be out in nature, and it's always just so amazing how many ingredients you can pick up for free when you're out on your walk. So if you are really interested in learning how you can spend less on your weekly shop, then I definitely recommend foraging. And often these ingredients are so full of nutrition and goodness. They've not been bred to be big and quick growing. They are exactly how nature designed them to be, so often packed with even more goodness than what you'd buy in a supermarket or even from a farm shop. And then going back to the wild tent, the setup created by 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 caveman in the Bull Hotel, you can book it as a normal kind of, well, normal dining experience just as a couple or with friends, and it's this big, as you saw, communal table where the chef prepares the food right in front of you. Conversation is encouraged, like talking about food and cooking and ingredients, and Ben, the chef, incredibly knowledgeable, clearly just loves cooking over fire. The way that he made the most simple of ingredients taste was just so incredible. And I even tried some scallops. I don't normally like anything fishy, but they were delicious. They really were. I think he said they were Orkney scallops, and they were like that big. They were incredible. And then the lamb cooked over the flame with, we had the hogweed flowers as a garnish. It was all absolutely scrumptious. So we will definitely be adding events that Bull host to our weekly newsletter, the perennial post, which is now back in action. So if you're not signed up to my newsletter, I will leave a link to that down below. We often share an edit of the best events happening around the Cotswolds. So if you're coming for a weekend, then you can use that as a little kind of planner, as well as other bits and bobs. And I might even add in a little foraging section as to what you can forage each week and each month, maybe highlighting an ingredient every week so it's not too overwhelming. I think elderflower is a really good one to focus on now. I will probably do some proper elderflower foraging tomorrow morning, so that'll be in the next vlog. So I'll research a few recipes that I can do with that. But yeah, anyway, you've kept me company crawling up Burford High Street. There's always so much traffic here. It's a shame because it's such a beautiful little town, quaint Cotswold village, very picturesque, and yet it's a through road, so it's always very, very traffic heavy. But at the top, when you finally make it there, is Burford Garden Centre, or Burford Garden Company, to give it its official name. Okay, the car park is busy, so I'm fully expecting it to be quite manic in here, but it'll be worth it. They've got some lovely little herbaceous blooms here. If anyone hasn't got salvia in their garden, I would highly recommend. It's always just does so well in our climates. Some lovely planting. Look at this. My goodness, this is quite lovely. Rather fab parasol, the pattern underneath. Beautiful. Managed to walk past the seed section with only 3 packets of seeds, which is pretty good going for me. Now this I'm intrigued by, an 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 watering pot. So it's a terracotta pot, and if you just fill it with water, apparently it steadily releases water for the next 8 days. Sounds very clever. Might have to give that a try. Now this sounds so lovely. Brookside Botanicals. They've got organic herbal tonics, just made with herbs and water, no sugar or anything. Really interesting to see what ingredients they're using. Lemon balm, vervain, meadowsweet, elderflower and lavender. How gorgeous. I could definitely try making a version of that. And that's their calming one. They've got one for clarity. What's in this one, I wonder? From their organic farm in Warwickshire. They could be our neighbours. Nettle, peppermint, blackthorn, hawthorn and cow parsley. Lots of the things that we've seen out on our foraging today. This sounds amazing. A brand called 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 Ancient Grain Artisan Pasta. They've got 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, definitely going to try that. And an 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. I feel like this would be so good in salads. We haven't even got to the flowers yet. Yum. Another local brand, Cotswold Orchard Herbs, their fire cider, something I'm sure I could make, but I don't have a juicer. So apple cider vinegar, orange, red onion, turmeric, garlic, lemon, lots of other ingredients, an immune boosting gut health tonic. Take a shot of this with water every morning. Okay, finally made it to the outside section. They always have so many lovely herbaceous blooms here. I don't actually think we've got much room in our borders anymore. We do have a few salvia that have just gone completely wild, but I feel like I shouldn't get these without Charlie's nod of approval. So this is a variety called East Friesland, and I feel like it grows a little bit more compact than the salvia that we've got, which would probably be better suited for our border, so maybe we'll need to get some of this next year. Gosh, that looks lovely. Wild rose in a pot. That looks gorgeous. So now is the time to come to the garden centre to look for seedlings. This is actually what I'm here to look at, because a few of my things haven't done too well. So if you don't want to grow things from seed, you want to have a little bit more luck, then getting things when they're this big from garden centres means someone else has done the hard work. I always try to grow everything from seed, but I always get carried away and not everything works. I don't think I'm going to do peppers this year, although this is a really fun variety. Maybe I'll just get one little chili plant, because they're always quite fun and you get a lot of chilies out of one plant. All of my tomatoes did quite well. They normally germinate successfully, so I don't need to get any tomatoes. What else have they got down here? Ooh, pak choy. That one's already starting to bolt a little bit though. Mine does germinate pretty well actually, so I'm going to try that again from seed. Don't think I'm going to do swede or anything like that. This section, the brassicas, always just get eaten by pigeons in my garden, and my rainbow chard is already doing well, so I don't need to get that. I was hoping there might be some peas and beans. Ooh, do I cheat and get a cucumber from here? I've not done cucumbers this year. I'm hoping this isn't their only area of seedlings, because actually, aside from the chili pepper, I don't need any of these. If I had a massive lawn and I wanted to start a flower bed, I think this is what I would do. Have someone build something out of big sleepers and then do ornamentals in the middle like lavenders and angelica, and then grow my veggies all around the outside. I think that would look amazing, and it's probably quite an affordable way of setting up a raised bed. So I've got my goodies, some edible things to eat now like the risottos and the pastas, my seeds, and then I just got the chili pepper, and I got this beautiful little pelargonium. Okay, I've been home for a few hours, just made myself a nice my garlic chili tomato pasta dish for dinner. Thought I'd show you a few of the bits that I got from Burford. So the chili inferno, and I'll pop this on tomorrow. You can see it's already got a couple of flowers, so that'll be producing chilies soon. And this beautiful pelargonium, I thought that leaf was so unusual. The variety is called Pelargonium Delhi Regal. Lovely, absolutely beautiful, and we've got a few buds coming. Seed wise, I definitely spoke too soon when I told you that I'd been restrained, because then I found another section. I've got some Goldie, not Gold Rush, Goldie courgettes. They look like they might be good when they're a bit smaller, because my courgettes this year, well, we can see some of them over here. They desperately need to go out, but only a couple of them germinated. So there's definitely room for more. Kale, because I love it. What do we get here? Some echinacea. I remember last year wishing I'd done more non-green beans, because they're really quite camouflage, and if you get purple or yellow ones, you can actually get some kind of white ones too. They're so much easier to see and therefore easier to pick. So I also just grabbed this mixed set as well. You've got the yellow, the purple, and then the classic green. And more of the classic dwarf French bean, because these are probably my favourite ones to eat, I would say. A nice jumbo pea, because, do you know what? I planted so many, but I kind of just let them, I forgot about them here in the greenhouse. Big regret, silly Billy. And then a runner bean with a nice black pea pod. They always say black, but it's kind of purpley. and another echinacea, really good for a herbal garden because they have so many uses. I got these little garden labels. They were fairly affordable, so just a few little labels when I do my seeds outside. I got this netting because I'm going to put my bean support up tomorrow. That is basically my to-do list. I also need to plant out my dahlias tomorrow. I've been quite late with a lot of my gardening jobs this year, but at least I've potted on my tomatoes. Most of them will stay here in the greenhouse, purely because I've pretty much run out of room out in the garden, so they're normally quite happy in here, and obviously it's a lot warmer. Some of my beans over here are doing well. French bean, that looks like a weed growing in there, not a bean. But yeah, these can get planted out tomorrow as well. A little bit of geranium maintenance, a bit of deadheading. I like to do deadheading in the evenings because in the mornings I like to pick my fresh flowers. But in the evenings it's good to do some deadheading so overnight they can recover, and then if you do your watering in the morning then that's normally quite a good way round. So I'm going to take this basket and just see if anything else in the garden needs deadheading. I was asking Rob a lot today about what I can do with all of my roses, and based on everything he said I think I really do need to get myself a dehydrator. But I think I'm going to make myself a lemon balm and rose tea for this evening, so I'll just pop that on the edge, pick some lemon balm, and then go and put the kettle on. Look, these are my peas this year. This is the most disappointing pea stand I've ever seen. Really, really disappointing. I think because as I said, I just didn't nurture them in the greenhouse. I haven't even tied them in. I will tie them in tomorrow. They might recover, but honestly, I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed. This is the other side. They look positively rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I have let myself down. Even the broad beans, look, they're ready to be harvested. Some of them, almost. But where I didn't put the supports in time, oh, they've just flopped over. This has been my worst year yet. But it's not too late. It's not June yet, by the time I'm filming this. So there's definitely time for me to rescue. I mean, how sad does this all look? Oh, I just need to spend I need to spend the entire weekend sorting out the garden and bringing it back to life. Okay, my darlings, I've got a confession. I got this from M&S Food on my way home, and it's the M&S Big Daddy Pistachio Chunky Chocolate Bar with pistachio creme, caramel and pistachio pieces. We all know that pistachio chocolate is so viral at the moment. I love the Lindt pistachio chocolate bar. I bought like 6 bars when we were in Switzerland. Obviously Lindt is a Swiss chocolate brand, so it was very readily available there. But this is the UK homegrown, obviously not homegrown, but made in the UK M&S version. And I thought I would give it a try. I don't know how I feel about caramel being in here. And it's just literally like one giant slab, whereas something that I love about the Lindt one is that you can just snap it and they're really nice and thin little squares, so a little bit more achievable, whereas with this I feel like I need a knife, but I'm actually just going to bite into it. I definitely prefer the Lindt one, but I think this one is cheaper and there is a lot more to it. But it kind of tastes like a Twix bar. I think the caramel is overpowering the pistachio a little bit. And the quality of the chocolate is obviously just not quite as good. I'll still eat it, but it's just not as good as the Lindt one, I would say. But to have it alongside my rose and lemon balm tea, it's rather lovely. Hey Dexy! Hey! I love you! Yeah, I mean, I would still give this a 7 out of 10. If I would give the Lindt one an 8 out of 10, and the Fix Dubai chocolate one a 9 out of 10. So it's still pretty good, but I wouldn't buy this again. I would just buy more of the Lindt one. But on that note, I think this is quite a long vlog now, and we're just going to go for a nice walk this evening. So I'm going to tune off and say thank you for watching. Dexy's here, so he'll say goodnight as well. Ooh. And very excitingly, if you're watching this in June, which I think you will be, this month Dexy turns 10. So we will be throwing him a Decade of Dexter party. 10th birthday party for my eldest child. Anyway, my darlings, I'll see you soon.